Hello, 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 everybody. This is Renault, and today we are going over the end of Unit 44, number 4, in a 4-issue limited series by Alterna Comics. Written by Wes Loker. Written and lettered by Wes Loker, with art by Ed Jimenez. And it's not focusing because my phone camera is stupid. And by the way, the first two issues, the covers were fake news, but that's fine. Issue number 2 had a ridiculous underwater theme when the story takes place in the middle of the desert. But 3 and 4 are much more relevant. I'm kind of iffy on whether a cover is relevant to not relevant. If the cover is just ridiculous, like the whole desert, the undersea adventures, when the story takes place in the middle of a desert, that's so off the wall that I like it. But don't do it halfway. If your cover is not relevant to the story at all and it's fake news, go all the way. But on the other hand, this cover is very relevant to the story, and that's also good. So basically, if something is fake news, but it's not just being cheeky about it, that's kind of where I don't like. But anyway, relevant cover. And now, something bad. I like how Wes Loker is really having fun with the series in every page. This is chocolate. Yeah, this is clearly not a collector's item. But anyway, Unit 44, and now something bad. So yeah, Wes Loker really is having fun with the series. I can tell he's enjoying writing it, but there are some issues in this book. I wish everything could have been of the same quality of issue number 2. Issue number 2 was a fantastic of this. Like, I don't know why part 1 was kind of inconsistent. Part 2 was fantastic. Number 3 had a lot of pacing issues, and we'll get into issue number 4. Did he finish strong, or did he finish weak? Like, a lot of Alterna comics finish weak. I don't know why, but they just do. Anyway, we get to the first story, and we get Agent Albright. What's this? Wasn't he, in the process of getting blown up and exploded? So anyway, we get a kind of a lame joke. Just thinking about it, the reason why these jokes feel so dated is because this issue was first created back in 2014. And so, there's a Black Eyed Peas reference here. Why am I awake? Did my Black Eyed Peas ringtone go off? Nope. So anyway, he's calling his ridiculous alien invasion plan exactly what it is, which is ridiculous. And we do get a decent double-page spread where the humans on the left, generally, are fighting the aliens on the right. And Ed Jimenez really had some trouble here. And this is one of the first times he's had some trouble with the artwork, because these aliens, as they were being drawn, are tiny. They are diminutive. Like, tiny. This didn't happen in, like, when we saw the aliens, Schnackhoon in particular. They were, like, relatively human-sized, or a little bit smaller, but only a little bit. But here, they're tiny. But there's another problem. Look carefully at this scene. What do you see? God, the zoom sucks. But, yeah, look at that. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Yeah, the humans are getting wrecked. So, when you have a war scene, you have to show both sides taking their lumps. And in this one, it's just the humans getting just screwed. Which is a little bit understandable, They're an alien species. They're obviously far more advanced than humans are. But, if you want to show the humans getting wrecked, then just make it very clear we don't stand a chance. And they kind of didn't do that. So anyway, let's skip to the couple pages. My bookmarks are still missing, so I'm using air fresheners. They work just as good. I do like this callback to issue number 1. This is the guy who was on the Most Wanted poster. And now he's here. So that's good. This is the alien ship with Agent Gibson hanging off. He's shooting at it. Shoom! Wes Loker does a great job with the onomatopoeia, the sound effects or whatever. And, yeah. But anyway, this issue also has some of the same problems that issue number 3 had, where the characters are talking just to talk, and it doesn't do a good job developing the characters, and it just has a lot of problems. So, one thing that you're not really told about is that... Let me go back. This is the present. This is the present. This is the past. And we're not told about that. Because this is kind of like a relay as it's being related to Lance Albright. But we don't, like, if this has been moved over to the right, and then this whole sequence here, this panel and this panel, needs to be redone so that it just somewhere on this page it says 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, or something. And so if you move it to the right, you might have had to eliminate this, but that's okay. You would have this redrawn to show that it's shooting, but then it's going after the ship. So you still get the same implication, but that's not done. Instead, we're in the past, but we're not told we're in the past. So anyway, we switch over away from the battlefield, and we have Lindsay, who, I remind you, should be dead. Agent Hatch had her dead to rights. He had his gun on her, and then instead of just shooting her and murking her, he threw it at her head. Then he fell from like 50 feet up or 100 feet up and landed on her. She also could have been dead. She should be dead and not in this story anymore. But more irritating than that is this stupid joke. It's just dumb. This is another example of an entire wasted page. And I'm going to read it to you so you can see. I don't understand your betrayal, Lindsay. You don't understand a lot of these things. Look, I have reasons, Hatch. Right. Next, you're going to tell me Lance Albright is your father. He is. You're kidding me. Yes, I am. So he's not your dad? Yes. Screech! Stop it! You're making my brain hurt! So, here's how you can fix this. All of this is dumb. Next, you're going to tell me Lance Albright is your father. So all this she could be talking about how she was underappreciated. Instead, you don't understand a lot about these things. Look, Lance wanted to make the world a better place. That's ridiculous. How would he have done that? Having me research the technology instead of watching TV. You have a job to do. We all do. Yes, we do. And I was underappreciated. We're all underappreciated. That's what it means to be a member of the FBI. There. That's the character development. He's lecturing her. He's pointing out that, the FBI, even if you do good things, allegedly you don't get acknowledged. And she didn't get that. But instead, we get this stupid wasted page for no reason. You know what's making my brain hurt? Not just the occasional wasted panel, but entire wasted pages. That makes my brain hurt. Let's see. Skipping. So anyway. they're going to the battlefield. And so, Gibson, listen to me closely. You need to dislodge the Fridokin crystal and power down that ship pronto. Hurry it up, partner. There's a missile closing in on you. Look at her. Come on, man. I will not lose another partner. It's so hard getting to know people anymore. Everyone just wants to talk about themselves, and no one has any interest. My dreams, my passions. No. In fact, the whole partner scene is really jaded nowadays. I blame the internet, but what can you do? Gibson, can you even hear me, or I just have my finger in my ear for no reason? Boom! The missile that was headed to the ship that Lance Albright was in and that Gibson was holding on to, trying to get the crystal, has been exploded. But this page has a lot of problems. Yes, it has stupid talking scenes. Like, he could have said, oh no, all these partners I keep losing because the FBI is dangerous and I've considered retirement. If you die, then it'll push me over the edge. Something like that. But instead, he's talking about the inevitable death of Gibson as more of an annoyance. And it just seems totally wrong. Another thing, keep this for later. She notices that he's not watching her, and she runs away. Another thing. Look carefully at this art. This is the ship. It's got the whizzing whirls, whatever, flying through. This is the same art. This panel and this panel, they're the same art. Now, I understand, like, with DC or Marvel or whatever, I don't know, Antarctic Press or what, Valiant or Oni or whatever. Actually, Oni doesn't. Yeah, Oni or whatever. You have a monthly deadline. You've got to rush things. You've got to take shortcuts. But this comic book originally started as a crowdfund. There's no reason to rush to this art. This art is the same as this art. All they did was just use the highlight tool, move him over to the right, and have Lindsay running away. This is the same art. Oh, and they move the mouth around a little bit, which you can do with a stretchy tool. And this art is the same as this art. He just did a cut and paste and cut this out, and then veered it back a little bit, and then drew this in. Lazy. Ed Jimenez did lazy art. Now, that's understandable. Like I said, if you have a schedule to keep with your monthly whatever, or maybe even bi-monthly or tri-monthly. But this went through a Kickstarter. Then it went through another Kickstarter. Then, like, and now none of this got fixed. It's all just lazy, lazy, lazy. I can't believe it. Like, what? Man. Just lazy art. Anyway, we're supposed to believe they're dead. Let's skip a couple pages. And we get another terrible page. I don't want to go over what's on the left. But we will go over to the right. So they're pissed off. They're killing aliens. Shoot, 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 shoot. He throws this big-ass grenade. Whiff! Where did this big-ass grenade come from? Where did he get this grenade? Where did this grenade come from? From this character. He's not reaching into his pocket to throw it and then it expands. Nothing. This is... Ooh, man, this is disappointing. And so then we have Chester getting hit in the back. How terrible. As the bomb that Ike threw is exploding. Now I'm going to read this. They shot him. Chester, you okay, buddy? Talk to me. Ah! Hatch is shot-ish. And also, this laser is going off. I'm not quite sure if this is the bomb or the laser. But he's being shot. Script. So apparently it's hitting him. You can kind of tell it's hitting him. Let's skip to a couple pages. And now, it's just Hatch. Where did Ike go? Where did Chester go? They're right next to each other. He gets hit. And now there's this. Loker. What? Jimenez. You're better than this. I've seen you do better than this. Issue 3 was better than this. But anyway, he needs to go over to his gun, grab his gun. Nope. You is finished. Check. And now we're switched back to the present. You made quite a mess. So the person who is interrogating Lance Albright is talking to him. You made quite a mess. A lot of humans and extraterrestrials were killed in the chaos. A lot of humans and Freedakins? That would have read better. You know the name of these extraterrestrials. They're Freedakins. Give us Brighty. Nuh-uh. Now.
Sorry, you can't have him.
Why?
Because he's dead. And so is my partner, you big dumb space slug.
Why does that sound familiar? What? So this is the shadowy figure. Lucky for you, Mr. Albright. Some of us Earthlings. Guess who it is? Yeah, it's not really a surprise. It's Agent Gibson. Not so easy to kill. This is the present. This is the past. Again, we've got questions like, where's Chester and Ike? Earlier, I talked about how they're clearly in love with each other. Or at least the Freedakins are. They're in love with him. We're just going to show that the Freedakins, this is really just a lover spat. I'm not quite sure how Lance Albright takes it. Well, I know how he is, but... So anyway, the aliens are like, give him to me. Look at how tall this guy is. Again, human-sized. So anyway, Lance Albright is punching out Snakun to get the crystal. Oh, hey, look, it's Ike. He wasn't in the previous couple of pages, though. He punches Albright to get the crystal. But then, Lindsay, who we saw escape and leave the scene altogether, and had no reason to continue to stay around, punches Ike. Woo, and dances out of there. And then he kicks her and grabs the crystal. I would have liked the scene a lot better if anything else happened. Anyway, oh, need hug, guys. Hey, guess what? He's still alive. Remember how in the previous issue number 3, there were a lot of instances where people could have died and increased the dramatic tension? Well, none of that happens here. He should be dead. He got blasted by the aliens. And then is like, oh no, men hugging, get away from me. Anyway, Lance Albright is forced to stay in his cell. He's calling it a minor setback. But he's forced to stay in his cell in Area 51 with Snakun again. And it's pretty much going to be until his end of days. And yeah. Anyway, this issue had so many problems. Anyway, they're closing up Unit 44. Oh man, let's hope nothing else gets out of here. And here's just a small issue I had. The alien tech is crawling up Hatch's leg. You could have just had the alien tech just leaving the unit and them not noticing. It's much more likely he's going to notice something crawling all over his leg than something small thing just hiding out in a corner or crawling underneath the car even, instead of his leg. So this, lots and lots of scenes that just don't do it for me. Hey, guess who else? It's, Chester. And apparently, to set up this cheap joke, Chester rode into the car with them, but he's still acting surprised.
Gibson, I don't want to alarm you, but there's someone in our car.
Y'all forgot you hired me, didn't ya? Which is only slightly insulting, seeing as how I rode over here with ya.
Oh, we have a no talking rule.
Ugh. But see, the problem with this is Chester and Ike were a pair. Just like Hatch and Gibson are a pair. Where's Ike? You know, so anyway, guess who else isn't dead? Ballard. The end. This book, just the last 2 issues were a hot mess. But then again, pretty much all alternate comics, the final issue is a mess. The final 2 issues for this one were a mess. How disappointing. Would I recommend Unit 44? I don't know. I can't say no. But it's definitely not an unmitigated yes. Like Trespasser, I can't really say no because this has an audience. But it certainly wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, I would have liked... But the problems in the last 2 issues were like Wes Loker's fault because he's pretty much the lead. Ed Jimenez had a couple of issues, but this thing was all about the peaks and valleys. The good was really good. The bad was... The good outweighs the bad. That's all I'll say. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.